Don in London, hello, and it's June 23rd, 2009. My video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour, or addiction to both substance and behaviour. My substance was alcohol, and my behaviour, drinking a lot. If I wasn't drinking a lot, I'd be in a relationship a lot, workaholic, you name it, any old dolic. And the gift these days is to know I can find balance in this one day. So, progress, not perfection, always. And it struck me over the last week or two. If only, I think is the way to describe this video, if only people were like me. And thank God they're not, because I'm full of defects of character. And June is all about step 6 for me. Having my defects of character removed on a daily basis. And my main defects, if you like, are fear, putting on a brave face, and ego. So if my ego comes out to play, I'm probably indignant and actually judging people. If I fear life, it means there is something nagging at me which I'm not sure about, and I wonder if I've done something wrong or somebody is doing something wrong to me. Or indeed, just simply being themselves, but at the same time angry at me. So these things happen, and you know, this happens on YouTube too. So if only people had the same outlook as me, if only they would treat people, or they would treat me as I would treat them. And we're asking for sometimes impossible standards of ourselves and other people. I'm going to have to shut my window, there's a bit of a row. I'll be right back. I'm back. So the if only bit. Anyway, coming on to what keeps me sober a day at a time, it's the fellowship. Actually, before the fellowship, family, community, society, professionals, and the fellowship keep me sober a day at a time. And the fellowship I'm talking about, obviously for me, is Alcoholics Anonymous. I don't speak for Alcoholics Anonymous. It's full of unique, authentic people who can speak for themselves on subjects they wish to speak about, and also in privacy or wherever they like. But I share a public record, if you like, about sobriety because it helps me keep in the moment of now. And this thing about if only the world was the way I would like it to be. And of course it's not. And you know, how often is it that we cannot get what we want, or our choices are limited to what we're able to do. So on a daily basis, my choice is not to drink and to go to fellowship meetings, which help me. So if 1 hour or 1.5 hours a day keeps me away from the demon drink, which got me drinking 24/7, that's not so bad. And I don't spend all my time in meetings. I spend my time as best I can to do something useful, besides doing AA videos or videos about AA. So I don't speak for the fellowship, I can't. It's not that sort of thing. It's a fellowship of unique, authentic people, and unique, authentic people can do what they wish to do, wherever they are. So the preamble shared at every meeting of AA sort of sums it up. It says this, and this always slows me down. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution. It does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. So part of my usefulness is just sharing that there is a fellowship out there if you want to stop drinking. And also there are good professional medical people and good people who have an understanding of what alcohol has done, what addiction is, and how to develop a life of recovery. Because once we've crossed the line on something, we can be quite easily cross-addicted into our work, as I say, relationships, you name it, we can cross-addict into it. Any old behaviour you can think of. Or experience, I guess. So yeah, it's not easy being in recovery, and I can make it 10 times worse simply by sometimes having expectations which cannot be met. And my coffee nearly went down the wrong way there. Yes, in this book, Daily Reflections, it's a page a day all about what we might want to consider and reflect about, a meditation if you like, just to get a bit of an edge on what we might do today to keep calm and in the moment of now, which is reality. Being in reality is far better than living in our history and having a mind full of desperate times, or going to the future and wishing it was something else. But it says here about trusting others, and trusting others, it says this: but does trust require that we be blind to other people's motives, or indeed to our own? Not at all. This would be folly. Most certainly we should assess the capacity for harm as well as the capability for good in every person that we would trust. Such a private inventory can reveal the degree of confidence we should extend in any given situation. So in other words, don't expect really that people will treat us the way we want to treat people, and also remember that we have treated people badly in the past, either by our absence or by our ignorance under the influence. It goes on to say, I am not a victim of others, but rather a victim of my expectations, choices and dishonesty. So my expectations, choices and dishonesty. Good words. When I expect others to be what I want them to be, and not who they are, when they fail to meet my expectations, I am hurt. When my choices are based on self-centeredness, I find I am lonely and distrustful. I gain confidence in myself, however, when I practiced honesty in all my affairs. When I search my motives and am honest and trusting, I am aware of the capacity for harm in situations and can avoid those that are harmful. So it's also, harm is real, and it's not imagined, and these books are quite serious, and we can do a lot of harm sometimes when we think we're talking truth, and in fact we're talking opinion. How often have I done that? Well, you know what it's called? Yes, I think it's called, what did somebody say? Yes, an exponent of the selective truth. The selective truth can be completely dishonest and a lie, and I was good at that because it was just the way the game was played. So, it's better to be honest and open and willing, I guess, on a daily basis, but don't expect the same back. So, page 134 in As Bill Sees It, similar sort of message. I wonder why these things come together like this. The individual rights. We believe there isn't a fellowship on earth which devotes more care to its individual members. Surely there is none which more jealously guards the individual's right to think, talk and act as he wishes. No AA can compel another to do anything. Nobody can be punished or expelled. Our 12 steps to recovery are suggestions. The 12 traditions which guarantee AA's unity contains not a single don't. They repeatedly say, we ought, but never you must. Though it is traditional that our fellowship may not coerce anybody, let us not suppose even for an instant that we are not under constraint. Indeed, we are under enormous coercion, the kind that comes in bottles. Our former tyrant, King Alcohol, always stands ready again to clutch us to him. Therefore, freedom from alcohol is the great must that has to be achieved, or else we go mad or die. And that's so true. But this thing about, under enormous coercion by alcohol, sometimes we're under enormous coercion by the judgments and prejudice we've built up over the years, and often our expectations of others. It's like, if you ask the question, how do I want to be treated today? And the answer is probably the way I would treat other people. If we're mean and nasty and unpleasant, or we have a demeanour which is quite arrogant and egotistical, then we probably get the same back. So I try to keep open, honest and willing, and understand that I can get judgmental, and this can be extremely unhelpful, and sometimes offer advice or information which has been asked for, when in fact it might have been better to keep silence and say, I just don't know. So it's difficult, and we're all human, and we go through angry periods in our life, and also gentler and more calm and peaceful parts of life, and it's all according to how life is today. So when I say the serenity prayer, either to God or good conscience or a higher power, it's as we choose. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, that's other people, places and things. Courage to change the thing I can, that's me, my attitude and behaviour. And the wisdom to know the difference always and forever, just in the day, where reality exists, and it's our spiritual connection to just now.